Hey friends, Steve Tiber with 8 Days of Hope, hanging out with Matt Schlegel, our brand new feeding ministry director. You know, we know about, 12, 15, 18 months ago, we start sharing the passion that God gave us a vision to provide food, thousands of meals to families in need after disasters. And so it always starts with finding the right person to lead. And Matt, I tell you, the minute I met you, I knew within 30 minutes that I was praying that God would show you that as well. But you have a background with food, I believe in the military. Maybe tell the viewers a little bit about your feeding background with the military.
Sure. So I always loved to cook growing up, was in the kitchen with Mom. Dad was usually out in the shop. I liked doing a little bit of that too, but they moved up northern Wisconsin. I joined the Army at 18. They left me in the house and moved out, so I had to go somewhere. So the Army called me. I answered to serve my country, 20 years. Was able to meet my wife the first year out. We've been married 30 years plus now. Served in aviation units, infantry, armor. Was able to lead small groups to deployments across the country and across the world, up to a battalion size, 800 people in a battalion to feed them. Also went to Iraq 2 times where we fed up to 25,000 people on a base. Got to direct people from different countries and different cultures and just meet and learn so much in different aspects of food service.
First of all, let me say thank you.
Yes, sir.
My wife, my 5 children, we're honored to know people who've served in the military. My dad did, I did not, but thank you so much for serving our country and for using your gifts. Now, we benefit from some of those gifts because you said you made food sometimes for many, many people, and that's what we're going to be doing starting like now, right here in 2023. So let's talk about the equipment, and then we'll talk about the people that we're looking for, because this equipment blows my mind. So those ovens, they can make 800 proteins every 8 minutes. Wait a minute, 8 Days of Hope, 800 proteins every 8 minutes. How cool is that? So this equipment, talk a little bit about the equipment and why we went out and purchased this equipment. So when you deploy, what are you going to take with you? And then we'll talk a little bit about the additional equipment as well.
Sure. So this is a 40-foot gooseneck trailer. It's got 2 tilt skillets in the front, which can hold 40 gallons of, we can boil water for coffee, reheat, and we can cook vegetables, gravy, sauces. In the front end, we got 2 combi ovens, which means it can use combination of steam or convection heat, or either vice versa. It can also put on a grilling mode, so we can grill steaks if we want to. The picture I got from the chef, it was stacked full of roasted chickens. You can do that in a little bit more than 8 minutes for a whole bird, but definitely is going to be able to roll out a lot of food and serve a lot of people. So just looking for people that want to be a part of that and love and serve people with food and tell them about Jesus.
You know, when you look at the Bible, Matt, there's so many times that food was a part of a parable. And, you know, you fellowship around food. Every night we invite the families that we serve during our rebuild events and our rapid response events to come back and have dinner. And I tell you, the team has been doing an amazing job for 18 years. But this is another big step forward, because when you deploy and provide up to 8,000 meals every day, so if you deploy for 8 days, that's 64,000 meals.
Yes, sir.
So you not only have to prepare it, you have to purchase it, you have to pay for it, you have to clean up after you make it. There's a lot going on. So if someone's interested in joining this arm of the ministry, what types of people are you looking for?
Looking for leaders, people that have been in the industry for a long time, know the logistics behind it, can be able to think on your feet. We never know what God's going to provide for us as far as food to provide for others. So also looking for people who can have logistics background, know how to coordinate getting food from one place to another and out to the people that need it. People that have been involved with disaster relief in the past know what people are going through, know that they don't have water, they don't have power, and they just need a hot meal at that time.
We're really excited to launch this arm. Thank you for your leadership. I know that today, while we film this at our national headquarters in Tupelo, Mississippi, inside, I think there's like 50 people, maybe a little bit more than that are learning the ins and outs of what we want to do. So is that a day of training, 3 days of training? What does that look like if someone wants to be trained to deploy with this arm of the ministry?
So this is our first training. Of course, we've got a variety of people, from people that don't know how to cook at all to chefs in here. So this training, we're doing 2 full days, another day of optional. If you want to bring a small group or just yourself, we can tailor some training just to what you need or what you want to learn. There's so many aspects of this. If you just need to learn how to use this oven, we can train you on that. If you want to learn how to drive a truck and pull this equipment, we'll train you on that. We got people that can show you how to run the electrical, the water, do laundry or wash dishes. We'll tail it to.
Yeah, that's interesting, Matt. So when we deploy this unit, we're also going to take a laundry trailer and a shower trailer, because when God kind of unveiled this vision to us, we saw linemen who were out serving a community that had no place to take a hot shower or wash their clothes, and or maybe even get a really good hot meal. Our goal is to provide multiple trainings per year. We've asked Matt to try to do 4. Now, being that we're launching here in the middle of the year, we might do 2 or 3 this year, but the goal is every year that we do 1 training in New York, in Buffalo, where we have a satellite, 1 in Iowa and Cedar Rapids, and then maybe 2 a year here in Tupelo. So again, if you're interested in joining our feeding arm of the ministry, this is the time to jump on board. All hands on deck, we need you. If you've got the right heart, though, to serve people, because brother, I've been around cooks now. I love our cooks, but you know, when you get 6 cooks in the kitchen, but that's what I love about you, Matt. You give people an opportunity to not only lead, but you give them a boundary of, hey, why don't you go oversee the desserts, and you're in charge of over here, and you do a great job of that. But we really are looking for people who are servant-minded.
Yes, sir. You got to love one another. You got to be patient with one another, and we pray for that every day. Just God give us patience and grace with one another, because He's given us grace. So that's what we're looking for.
Hey, I want to thank our partners. Their donations to the ministry allows us to buy hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment to deploy on a moment's notice. But now we need people to come join us. You're invited. Go to 8daysofhope.com to learn more about the ministry. Email us at feeding@8daysofhope.com, and they'll direct you to Matt. Matt, thank you for your leadership. We love you.
Sir.
You moved your family from Kansas to Tupelo, Mississippi.
Yes, sir.
God bless you, brother. I've lived in both places, and they're both great. Kansas is amazing. Mississippi is wonderful as well. But be praying for Matt and the team as they launch this arm of the ministry. And regardless if you're seeing this video at the end of 2023 or beginning of 2024, come join us. Email us at feeding@8dayshope.com. Pray for my friend Matt and all the leaders of the ministry. Hope to see you on a future trip with 8 Days of Hope.